Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to demystify PostgreSQL. We're going to break down what it is, how it works, and most importantly, why it's become one of the most trusted databases in the world for protecting really critical data.
All right, let's jump right in. Here's the plan for our tour. First, we'll cover what makes PostgreSQL an object-relational powerhouse. Then we're going to explore its huge universe of data types, look at some amazing features that go way beyond simple storage, and finally, we'll get into what makes it so rock-solid and reliable.
So first up, Section 1, the object-relational powerhouse. Let's get right to the core of what PostgreSQL actually is, because, it's so much more than just a place to stick data in tables and rows.
Okay, so if you look at the official documentation, you'll see this big term, Object Relational Database Management System, or ORDBMS. So what on earth does that actually mean? Well, think of it this way. It takes the super-organized, structured world of a traditional database and mashes it together with the flexibility you need to handle complex, messy, real-world data. So you get that rock-solid foundation, but you also get the power to store way more than just plain old text and numbers. It's really the best of both worlds.
And this power, well, it didn't just appear overnight. It's been built up over decades. Just look at this journey. It started way back as a research project at Berkeley. Then it evolved into something called Postgres 95. And then, in 1996, it became the PostgreSQL we know and love today. And that kicked off this incredible open-source development that's still going strong. So that sets the stage. Let's move on and see how this all builds up in Section 2, a universe of data types. This is where we get to see just how incredibly versatile PostgreSQL is, based on the sheer variety of data it can handle right out of the box.
And yeah, it absolutely nails the fundamentals. When it comes to numbers, PostgreSQL gives you really precise control. You can use a small int for tiny numbers, a standard integer for most things, or a big int when you're dealing with massive values. And this isn't just about storage, it's about being efficient, making sure your database is as lean and fast as it can possibly be by not wasting a single byte.
But okay, this is where PostgreSQL really starts to show off. It goes so far beyond simple text. You get native support for modern stuff like UUIDs for unique IDs and even XML. But the really big one is JSON-B. It handles JSON data in this super efficient binary format. You can even store a whole multidimensional array directly inside a single column. For any modern application, that is an absolute game changer.
All right, so you've got all this rich, complex data sitting in your database. That's awesome. But what can you actually do with it? Well, that brings us to Section 3, Beyond Simple Storage. We're going to look at some of the really powerful functions that work right there inside the database itself.
So check this out. One of the absolute standout features is its built-in full-text search. This means instead of needing some external search engine, you can run sophisticated Google-style searches right inside Postgres. It's basically a three-step dance. First, you prep your documents for searching. Then you prep your search terms the same way. And then you just let the database find the matches, rank them by relevance, and even pull out highlighted snippets for you.
And here's what that actually looks like. There's this function called TS-headline. It can literally take your document and your query, find the matches, and automatically wrap them in HTML tags for highlighting. It's an unbelievably powerful feature, and it happens right inside your SQL query. No extra software needed.
Okay, but what happens when your data tables get, well, ridiculously huge? For those massive data sets, PostgreSQL has something called declarative partitioning. It basically lets you automatically chop up one giant table into smaller, much more manageable pieces. Think about it. It's like trying to find one page in a million-page book versus finding it in one of several smaller, neatly organized chapters. That's what partitioning does. It makes your queries way faster because it tells the database exactly which chapter to look in.
This brings us to our final and maybe the most important section of all, rock solid and reliable. It's great to have cool features for sure, but it's a whole other thing to be trusted with data that a business absolutely cannot lose. So what is the secret to PostgreSQL's legendary reliability? Well, its reliability really comes from this multi-layered defense system. It starts with something called the write-ahead log, or WAL. Just think of it like a plane's flight recorder for your data. Every single change gets logged before it actually happens. So even if the system crashes, nothing gets lost. This underpins its full transactional integrity, or ACID compliance. Then it uses this clever system called multi-version concurrency control, which lets tons of users read and write at the same time without tripping over each other. And finally, you can even turn on data checksums, which constantly verifies your data on the disk to protect against corruption.
And you can see this deep focus on data integrity everywhere. I mean, even in how you shut the server down. The default is a smart shutdown, which is super graceful. It just waits for everyone to finish what they're doing before it closes up shop. But in an emergency, you've also got an immediate shutdown that just pulls the plug, knowing that the write-ahead log is there to guarantee a clean recovery when it starts back up. It's this choice between grace and speed that's just so central to its whole design.
So, as we wrap up our tour, here's the key thing to take away. PostgreSQL isn't just a random collection of cool features. It's a database that is built on a very deep philosophy of reliability and data integrity. From its core architecture all the way down to its shutdown commands, every single piece is designed to protect your data. And that leaves us with one final thought. When your data is your business, what is that trust really worth?